Hey, what's going on? Nick Unsworth here, and I'm a kick-ass business coach, and I'm on an absolute mission to help you find your purpose in life, to help you love what you do for work every single day, to help you be the rock star that you were meant to be, to make more money than you thought was possible, and to have more time freedom so that you can actually enjoy the life that you're living. I'm here to help you set your life on fire. Hey, what's going on? Nick Unsworth here, and welcome to a new episode of Life on Fire TV. And I'm sitting here just kind of lounging, just resting my knee here. I am walking now. I'm not wearing the brace, which is cool. So I had a knee surgery. And I want to show you guys how, let me start the timer real quick. I'll tell you about that in a second. But I want to share with you guys how simple and easy it is to run an ad on Facebook. So if you guys tuned in last week, I had a great episode where I talked about Facebook advertising, and I talked about it in terms of your ideal target market. I talked about what is a Facebook marketing funnel and why do you need one, and I talked a little bit about the opportunity and why it's so amazing and why this is still continues to be one of the best ways to market online and get leads to your business and grow your business fast. So this session here today, I'm going to literally take you kind of over my shoulder, and I'm going to show you on screen how to set up a Facebook ad, because it's not as intimidating as you would think. And this is literally the number one way that we've grown our business. This is what we've done with our clients. We've had people that have made, 3 figures, 4 figures, 5 figures, even 6 figures from doing Facebook ads and running webinars and selling your products and services. So it's the best way to build your brand, best way to build your email list, and best way to grow your business fast. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how we do that really quickly. So I've got 8.5 minutes. Here we go. So you go to facebook.com/manage. You can click on the button that says create an ad. At that point, you're kind of inside Facebook's back office and their ad platform manager. And you can do things like advertise for a Facebook post. All that means is you have a Facebook business page, you do a status update, and you can turn that into an ad that shows up in the newsfeed. What we're going to do here today is we're going to do simple traffic, clicks to your website. So all you have to do is type in your website name, and I'm going to type in lifeonfire.com. It's going to pull things up for you, and it's going to pull up some images that you could use for an ad. This is pulling up our most recent blog post. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to choose a photo, and you're going to want to choose a photo. It depends what you're marketing to. So I covered this a little bit in the last episode, but in the photo, right? So if we're going to do a mock-up here of a news feed ad, what you're going to want to choose is something that's going to be friendly, something that's going to have smiling faces. Like this one would actually be great for our Pay It Forward Friday video because there's a bunch of different smiling faces and people, it's different, right? But I'm actually going to choose the mobile newsfeed, because what happens is that most of the traffic on Facebook advertising that costs the least, is people that are actually on their phone that are on Facebook. So, when we look at the traffic and where we're getting the traffic from on Facebook, we're getting more than 70% of our best traffic is coming from people that are on these things, swiping and swiping and swiping, looking on their newsfeed on their phone. So for that reason, what I'd encourage you to do is just to make one ad that is for the mobile newsfeed. So all you have to do here is you click the remove button. Click the remove button on the right-hand side ad and just focus on the mobile newsfeed. Once you've done that, you can simply type in your headline. Headline, you want it to be very clear and descriptive of what it is that you're actually doing. So this is just an example for text, but in your case, you're going to want to have something that's going to convey what it is that you're doing. In the actual text, make that conversational, make that something that it stands out. Like I typically say, hey, all the time, or hey, right? So, hey, this is Nick Unsworth. Check out our new episode of Pay It Forward Friday TV, right? And make it sure it's descriptive, it's conversational, and it conveys exactly what it is that you want. So when they click on that, you also need to know that when they click on that ad on their phone, it's going to take them to that page on your website. So you want to make sure that your photo on the ad and where they land on the website is congruent, because if those two are not congruent, it's going to lead to confusion. So oftentimes we'll match what they click on with the colors and everything with what the colors are with what the landing page is. So it's very important to create congruency together. So the big main takeaway when you're building your ad here on Facebook is that you want to make sure that you're very narrow with your targeting. So what I mean is that you can use things like custom audiences. That's where you could upload your email address. Now, why would you do that? You'd want to do that because you already have a relationship with them and you want to be seen everywhere. You want them to see you in their inbox. They want to them to see you on Facebook, and you can even remarket them and be seen all throughout Google. So you want to take advantage of the context that you have. You could use that as an audience, which is great. I would run that as a separate campaign. If you ever want to split test and try different things, you want to make sure that each actual ad is its own campaign so that you can have a true test in between each. The next thing is choose your location. So also you want to choose your age, and for age, drill down on your demographic. If you're a big, mortgage company and you work with first-time home buyers, choose, it might be, 20 to 30, right? Choose that range that makes sense for you. As far as languages, in my case, I would, if I'm marketing internationally, which is nice because it opens up the market a little bit. It's nice, but I will often make sure that it's English-speaking countries, things like that, which is in my demographic. Other than that, the main thing here, this is where all the magic happens, and that is in your targeting. So this is that little section that says interests. Interests, all that means is that's things that people click the like button on, right? So interest could be my, Nick Unsworth Facebook page. It could be the Facebook business page for The Biggest Loser, the Facebook page for Bruno Mars, the Facebook page for the restaurant. Most importantly, your interests, if you're confused at who you should target on Facebook or how do you find them, think about who your competitors are. That is the easiest way to drill down. So think about who are your exact 3 competitors and make them your precise interest. So you do have to find their Facebook page and then type it in there. So we could put in my case, I don't like to think of them as a competitor, because I'm friends with the guy. However, I can put in their Social Media Examiner. They are one of the largest social media marketing companies. For me, I do a lot of Facebook marketing, right? So I'll put in Social Media Examiner. At that point, I could market to 228,000 people that like that blog, that like social media marketing, which is really cool. The other thing is, if I were to do, let's call it an interview with Mike Stelzner, who runs that company, right? And that was my piece of content that I put out in the newsfeed here on, if this was the piece of content, imagine, socialmediaexaminer.com, and I'm marketing to people that like socialmediaexaminer.com. Another example would be Gary Vaynerchuk, right? He's a New York Times bestselling author. We hired him, to speak on our stage at a big event. We also, have him as a part of our book club that we just came out with called Page Burner. And when we were running our Facebook ads, we were running a picture of me and Gary, and we were marketing a behind the scenes actual footage of his office and an interview that I did with him. And that situation was phenomenal because we targeted people that like Gary Vaynerchuk on Facebook. Can you see how cool that is? Here is me and Gary Vaynerchuk. We're targeting fans of Gary Vaynerchuk, and the congruency was perfect. We built our brand, we built authority, and most importantly, we drove really qualified leads, thousands of qualified leads that opted in to see Gary behind the scenes. We're going to be sharing this with you guys on our podcast, which is super, super cool, so stay tuned. And then from there, we then sold tickets to our event that Gary keynoted at, and we're going to be sharing that with you guys very soon, so stay tuned on the podcast. So what's cool is that we not only drove email opt-ins, we drove revenue, we created coaching clients, but we got people to fly across the country as well with that marketing funnel. So your precise interests are very important. The more narrow, the more successful you're going to be. So you want to make sure that you're not marketing to hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. Market to 50,000 to 200,000. Keep it very targeted. You can even reference in your ad copy, hey, if you like Domino's Pizza, you're going to love Roberto's, and maybe Roberto owns a pizza shop, right? I mean, who knows, right? So keep it conversational, keep it simple. These other things like connections, I keep that as all more categories. Do not mess with more categories. That to me equals broad advertising. Unless you're Coca-Cola or a big box brand, you don't need to do it. As far as campaign, name it something simple. What I recommend on that is you want to name your campaign, what it is, and then also just name the campaign photo that you're using, right? Maybe name the targeting that you're using, and I put it descriptively in the campaign title so I can always find it, because otherwise it gets a little bit confusing. As far as budget, choose what makes sense for you. If this is the first time you're running an ad, test it out, try it out, gamble with $10, right? See what happens. But look at my last session of my Facebook advertising training so that you understand, run your ad to the right place. And the next piece here is your bidding. What I would recommend is choosing the bid for clicks. However, I would choose the setting to manually bid for clicks. So what's interesting is that when you're manually bidding for clicks, you can set the rate at which you're bidding. Now what's crazy about this is that even if I put in here $1, what ends up happening is that I very rarely will pay what I'm putting in there for my bidding. Because what ends up happening is that if my ad is good, if my ad is conversational, if my ad has smiling faces and captures attention, that is the most important aspect, is your ad to capture attention, be happy, smiling, and from there, if your precise interests are good and it's a good match, then that's going to drive down what's called your click-through rate. So all said and done, the more people that want to engage with your ad, the lower your ad costs are going to be. So I can literally put in here, I'm going to bid $3 a click, but I know that my ads are going to be very responsive on the mobile phone. And if it's a big smiling picture, or it's faces, or it's engaging, it's going to instantly plummet that cost per click. That is the biggest backbone of Facebook advertising, is called that click-through rate. Make your ads friendly, make sure your click-through rate is going to be high, and then your ad costs are going to drop down. So, it's a little bit more advanced, but you can, manually bid for your clicks. If you're not comfortable with that, easily just put, automatically optimize to get more clicks. You can try both, either way. But when you run the ad the right way, you target the right way, your ad costs always go down. We never spend what we bid. We spend 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents a click, but never, over $1 ever. So that is Facebook advertising in a nutshell. So again, check out the episode before about how to create the Facebook marketing funnel in your target market. And I hope you enjoyed Facebook advertising, how to set up your ad campaign quickly, shoot even on a couch in about 10 minutes. Have a great day. See you soon. I'm here to help you set your life on fire.